Well, don't
tangent.
worry. Speaking of busting nuts, there are a lot of people busting nuts all over the news
Mm,
recently because Luigi Mangione, the
Mangione.
suspect, we have caught the suspect for the United Healthcare CEO assassination.
Yes.
And yeah, so he was caught, what, a couple days ago in Altoona,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. So we're recording this December 11th. So by the time you hear this, I'm sure there'll be plenty more updates. But yeah, right now he's sitting in prison in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he was caught eating chicken nuggets in a McDonald's. There's a photo of
Makes
him
sense.
with his hand around some nuggets.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Gotta grub up
apparently,
when you're on
yeah,
the run.
I mean, look, you can't make it long if you're a
Mm-mm.
criminal, most wanted criminal on an empty stomach. You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta fuel up however you can. I just think it's hilarious that this guy took out, literally assassinated the CEO of
Yep.
a healthcare company because he was so concerned about this guy making poor decisions that would affect the health
Yes.
of the United States. And then he gets caught inside a McDonald's, which, I mean,
No, that
arguably is
further
responsible for more
emphasizes it.
deaths.
Is that he's saying America's down bad. Like he's and that further emphasizes he's like all he could afford at the time was McDonald's. Americans should be able to afford better food and health care.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he was apparently spotted by a police officer at the McDonald's. Because
Mm.
at first I was like, what snitch ass Mickey D's employee called the police?
I
And
mean,
I
for
saw
that,
today it was actually an officer. I think he could have been off duty. I'm not sure. He seemed like a new police officer, but yeah, an officer spotted him. And that makes more sense.
I mean, for a McDonald's employee, that 10K reward is like 8 years' salary working at
I don't
McDonald's. So
know
I
these
don't
days,
blame the
Zach. They're
snitch.
making good money at Mickey D's.
At the register or manager? Because I could see a manager pulling it
Managers are
in.
making like 50K.
Yeah, I think that's
But I
great.
think
I
Mickey
doubt a
D's is
register
like
girl is making.
$15. I mean, it depends what state you're in
Yeah,
and what the minimum wage is, but and I don't know about PA, but like Maryland and New York are both like $15 an hour now,
yeah.
which is
I
pretty good.
That's a lot of Mickey D's hours though. You cross
Yeah.
off just one quick call, 911, boom,
But
10K direct deposit.
Luigi did the American people. He's trying to make a point here and a lot of people are riding for Luigi and would like to ride Luigi.
Yes.
And so before we got on the pod, as I just mentioned, I live in Maryland. So when it came out, I immediately got a text message from my friend who sent a link and said, "Oh no, not a Towson guy," because he was from Towson, Maryland, which is literally about 20 minutes from me. I used
Mm.
to work in Towson. A lot of my friends went to Towson University. Luigi went to high school at Gilman, which is a private all boys school. Costs like $40,000 a year to go there.
Fancy. Yeah, he did not need to be eating at
No,
McDonald's.
he did not need to be eating at McDonald's. He did not need money. The Mangione family is huge in the state of Maryland. They own like some country clubs, they own some retirement homes. They have a lot of money here. And so the first thing I do is go to Facebook and type in Luigi Mangione. And what do you know? We have mutual friends on Facebook. And I have,
Love
yeah,
it.
just on Facebook, I have so many friends that know the Mangiones. It's a pretty big family. So Luigi was 26, so he's younger. So I did not interact with Luigi personally, but my friend almost hooked up with his cousin. So there's a lot happening, and I just know that there are some girls in Towson right now that are just like, wow, I can't believe I sucked a murderer's dick back in
Yeah.
2020.
And according to what I know about Towson, there's a lot of girls wondering that at Towson right now
Yes.
about just getting I hear it's a very sloppy school, and I love that. I as a former college degenerate,
Yeah.
I appreciate the sloppy campuses.
Yeah, it's a decent school. Yeah, but it has a lot going on,
I
and
know you can't. I know you can't fully engage as someone who lives so close. You don't want to be Mangione in your own
mm-mm,
backyard by someone from
no,
Towson.
no. See, I don't. I don't.
So
But
that's
I
just my
did work
opinion.
at
That's
the
just my
bar
opinion.
scene. I
Yeah.
worked at the college bar scene, and I was pretty sloppy myself around Towson. So
God bless.
honestly,
Bless up.
I don't have. Yeah, bless up to my past self. She did a lot of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was just super crazy that this is really close to home. I'm seeing stuff all over national news, then I'm seeing stuff all over local news, and yeah, it's just wild when it's somebody when it's such a high profile case and then it's somebody that like I know where his house is or it's
Yeah.
like his family home. I saw the news choppers like flying around on top of the house on Monday, and I was like, "Yep, they're definitely flying over the Mangione home for
A hundred
for the
percent.
news." So yeah, it's insane, but I'm really intrigued to hear more about everything because there's so many rumors happening now, and I don't know. Like, there's rumors that like he had like a terrible back surgery due to like a
Yeah.
surfing incident.
There's one going around that he shot JFK. That he was the one who betrayed Jesus
That
Christ.
he knows where Amelia Earhart is.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
he might have even killed her. That's
Yeah,
what people are saying.
he could have.
Yeah. He's the one that convinced Biden to drop out of the race, apparently. He was
I
the
would
one
believe
who did that
that.
work.
He's
Yeah.
America's hero, apparently. But it actually seems like he has a pretty good reputation leading up to this event. Like, everybody's spoken very highly of him. So, he, in some ways, it kind of seems sad because it's around the age of 26 is when a lot of mental illnesses really start forming. Like schizophrenia, not saying that he is. I mean, like, genuinely. It's just that as much as I might agree with his intentions, you can't assassinate somebody, you know? So
I'll go on the record and I will second that.
yeah,
you
like
know.
it's probably not a good idea to murder somebody.
It's probably not a good idea. I'm willing to say
Probably.
that. Probably.
And you got to make up your mind on your own. But
Yeah.
we say that it's probably not a good idea. I probably wouldn't do it. Probably. But it's a conflict. It's an interesting topic, right? Because healthcare is really fucked up in this country. And that really seems to be the basis of why he did what he did.
Yeah. I think it's also an interesting defense for the lawyer to go into the courtroom and say, look, he was leading a pretty good life up until about a really bad 34 seconds that we've all seen on camera. Straight A
Yeah.
student, played lacrosse,
Valedictorian at Gilman, yep.
valedictorian, athlete, volunteer, and then he shot a CEO 3 times in the back. But before that,
He was a great guy.
Solid guy, community guy, healthy guy, just had a little bit of a speed bump
Yeah.
with, a gun that he bought off the internet that some guy from China probably
Yeah.
3D printed. But before he made that purchase, he was like up here,
Stand-up guy.
and then he was down here, but just for like 30 seconds. But that doesn't mean he can't go back up to
You
here.
never know. Honestly, I mean, he seems like a really intelligent person. I don't understand. That's why I was like, maybe like schizophrenia or some sort of mental illness is starting to take over to make you assassinate somebody. But other than that, it's like he seems like a really smart, well-liked guy. He obviously came from a bunch of money, so he would have inherited. Basically was set for life. So it's kind of like it's just interesting that a guy that's set for life goes out and throws his life away, really, by
Yeah.
assassinating someone.
Yeah, it is.
Which I think might have been the point, right? Like, it kind of seems like he's that guy that's like, that's the point. Like, is that like, I'm making a stance, you know?
Yeah, or maybe so. Like, if you come from a rich family, you can sort of go out And so a lot of people, they'll say, I'm going to do art design, or I'm going to paint for 10 years and see where it takes me. I'm gonna, write a book because I have family money. I'm gonna inherit stuff. If this doesn't work out, I'm gonna live my artsy life, and then I always have my inheritance as a backup. Maybe his art was assassination
And manifestos.
where he saw John Wick. Yeah, exactly. We know he tweeted out Ted Kaczynski. Maybe he saw John Wick sort of try to combine the two, and was like, hey, I'm going to dabble in the art of assassination. Maybe I'll be artsy about it. I'll eat McDonald's like the poor kid, even though I don't have to, but I'm trying to make a point. I'll etch my message into the bullets. That's such like an art school thing to do, is like, I'm just not going to kill this guy. I'm going to write it out and make sure he really knows about it. And then he got caught, and he's like, all right, you kind of have that rich mentality where it's like, I can't go to jail. Like, my family's worth $100 million. Like, I could do the most fucked up shit and explore myself or do whatever my urges tell me to do. But of course, I'm not going to go to jail. And, we'll see what happens, because he still has to get convicted by a jury.
Yeah, he's got to get sent to New York for one.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's a headline right here from TMZ that says fans are offering to foot all of his legal bills. I believe that because, we can obviously agree that's not a good idea to murder people, but people in this country are fed up about the cost of health insurance, the fact that you pay an astronomical amount of money only to get your claims denied, have to be on the phone for fucking hours arguing with people that just work at these insurance companies that aren't even doctors or have any understanding of what is going on with you medically, and they're there denying. It's a mess. So a lot of America is honestly standing behind Luigi. Maybe not so much for the murdering somebody, but for the point of you've got to like alter the healthcare system.
Yeah. And look, like you said, we're against assassinating big time CEOs.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean you can't use this to your advantage. So the next time I'm on the phone with Verizon and I say, hey, what's this extra $11 a month about? Put me on the phone with your CEO right now. And then I get on the phone with him and I say, it would be better for you and your family if you erase this $11 charge I'm seeing right here. And then I just
It'll be
go,
a whole
click.
lot better.
He's going to think twice about it, because he's going to see the Mangione headlines and go, I don't want to get Luigi'd. I don't want to, I don't want choppers over my house. Maybe
Correct.
This kid talking about $11.68 means business. So
it's a fair
that's up to you
assessment.
how to leverage it. Yeah.